Welcome in. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to the show today. We are definitely rocking some new stuff here. And we got a nice little fire going. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. You guys get to relax, watch the show. I'm going to be doing all the work. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. All right, let's pull this down. Gonna definitely need this later. And done. All right, we're gonna cut this off here. Like so. We're looking good, actually. That's not too bad. Okay, next step. We're gonna take this and pull it down into the handle as well. I'm running a little bit bigger fire than normal right now than I need because it's cold. Okay, so we're going to bring it in and pull this one down as well. And there we go. I'm just going to keep pulling. Nice and calm. And that should do it right there. I think we're good. Oh man, that fire feels good right now. I have to admit. Definitely feels good. Now I got to turn it down a little bit. There we are. Grip it and rip it. Oops. I might be able to use that. I don't want to pull another point off that. Then we'll bring it down. And there we go. And burn it off. And, oh, man, my volume's low. That's the problem. There we are. Hopefully y'all can hear me now. I forgot to put on my other microphone. We're going to have to do that. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to turn that up. Nope, I cannot. Not going to do that. There are plenty of people out there that will. I'm just not one of them. Okay, so we are going to add some white on here and turn this into the peppermint swirl. We got a few more to do today. And here we go. We're going going to start pulling it down. Adding all the color. A little bit at a time here. A few more. Hey, how are you? Thank you. All right, there we are. A little bit more. Any new pieces? I have some coming up today. Yeah. But right now I'm just finishing up the last little bit of some orders. Just a little bit. After this, I gotta put my wireless mic back on. Right now, you guys just hearing me off the stationary microphone. So it's probably not as clear. In fact, you're probably getting a lot of torch hiss. Torch noise. But yeah, we definitely do some new stuff. I am making a couple of ghost dogs in a little bit. So we'll be making the ghosty dog. That one's kind of fun to watch. It has a lot of unique little concepts to it when you put it together. Yeah, the other mic is definitely better. I just have to switch it. Thank you for letting me know. I got all excited, got everything going, and forgot to turn on my wireless. It'll take a second. I just don't want to do it right in the middle of this. All right, so the next step is we're going to take this and we're going to shrink it down, blow it open. And hopefully it looks good and be done with this one. There we are. Okay, so next step is we're going to blow this open. I always say open, but I mean out. We're not actually opening it up. Thank you. Are we looking good? We're looking good. I don't even know why you would say that. Doesn't even make sense to me, but that's okay. I like trolls. Trolls are welcome. Y'all keep my chat going, and that means my algorithm kicks in, so it's good. Okay, next step. Grab a little bit of a punty rod here. I never cleaned up from last night. I should have. I never cleaned my little holding bench up here. Oh, perfect. Attach that, and then we got to spin it off. Grip it and rip it. And Here we go. So we'll be able to pull this out, spin it off, and make it look hopefully pretty decent. I don't like the short handle. It kind of definitely threw me off a little bit. It's definitely going to make a sizzle. And there we go. So now we got the ornament going through. Scroll through 30 streams, got brain rot? Yeah, I go through that too. Most respect, thank you. I appreciate it. I love this art form. My goal is a couple different things on my streaming. One, I want people to enjoy it, see what it's about. Number two, I would love to inspire people to be able to do this as a hobby or career. I think that would be the most rewarding thing, is to have people take it up and actually learn it and become successful, whether at hobby or as a career. And three, just to have some fun. It's social interaction for me. So it does allow me to kind of get out in the world without leaving my studio. Yeah, if I can encourage people to actually take this up as a job or a hobby, then my goal is completed, right? Got to open that up. A little closed off. There we go. So this is a peppermint swirl. This year we've been doing a lot of candy themes. So the candy was my, come on, break, seriously. Candy was my theme this year. I don't know what I'm going to do next year, but we're definitely going to come up with some type of theme for next year that's different. Keep the candy theme going, but something new. Okay, just got to melt that in. And there, we got a little peppermint swirl going. Looks good. Pop it in. I do have to do a repair real quick. I got to repair a ghost dog. Give me 1 second. We're actually going to repair the ghost dog. It had an accident. Here we are. Thing fell to the floor, and this is all that happened to it. Rip it. So for dropping 5 feet down, this is all that happened. That's pretty good. There. All fixed up. Like it never even happened. I do want to make sure it sits okay. Okay, it's all good. I do not like the way that's sitting. I'm gonna fix it up a little. Since it's hot, might as well go through it and get it where I'm happy with it. Only takes a few seconds to do this. See, that wasn't complicated, was it? All right, welcome in. Let's fix the microphone situation. Okay, this is going to get loud for a second. I can bring this one down. There we go. Bring my little wireless up here. All right, that's better. Much better. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Would like to be a blacksmith? Blacksmithing would be cool. I've never done it. It's something I want to do. It's kind of on my bucket list. But, yeah, we'll get there eventually. Zero's one of your favorite? Yeah. I think it's a cool looking design. I thought this was YouTube ad for electric lighter that takes no. Nope. Nope, none of that. What's up, BDH? How are you doing? Welcome in. What's happening? All right, so we are doing some peppermint swirls, and then I'll be mixing up some other items, maybe a pickle or two in between. We'll see how everything goes. Going to be moving at lightning speed today. Do I make implosion marbles? I do. I definitely do. I'm not as good at implosion as I am other techniques for marbles, but yes, I do make them. All right, let's add the white on here. There are some people that do some really amazing implosions. I think my specialty on the marbles would be a space tech, like a planetary looking inside galaxy. And then the other thing I do is I can make them glow in the dark. So little sections will actually glow in the dark, and that is part of the fun. There we go. So we got all the white laid down. Yeah, we're doing Christmas decorations right now. We're just kind of adding some stuff in here. I can't tell if you're pomegranate or red. You are pomegranate. You are not ruby red. Okay, you're Elvis. Yeah, we're just filling in the last of the Christmas ornaments. This is it. I'll probably get some orders for some afterwards, after today, but I can't guarantee they'll ever make it there before Christmas. And I let people know that ahead of time. Okay, so we're adding the red. And one more. All right, there we go. So we got all the red on here. Now it's going to look kind of not so red. Keep your eye on it. It's going to look better and better later as we start going through it. See it start getting more and more red. Okay, next step is we're going to trim it off. I should probably just get a fresh rod for that. There we go. Can you show the dagger again? Of course. Let me finish this ornament and I will bring out the dagger. If you guys want to see the dagger that I made, it's 19 inches. Do me a favor and just put a 1 in the chat. Don't have to type anything out other than just put a little simple number 1. And it is a cool dagger. I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's one of my favorite pieces. It's in my collection for a reason. Yeah, it is in my collection for a reason. All right, so we got to shrink this down. Wait till you see the next one we do, though, when we pull the wings off of it. Oh, my God, that one's going to be amazing. That'll be done after the first of the year, though. All right, so we're going to heat this up, shrink it down, and then we're going to turn it into an ornament. Here we go. Got a nice little spiral on there. What's up, Cheryl? How are you? Now watch this. This is going to be the cool part. Watch the red start coming into play. It's just going to start turning red on its own. Maybe. Unless I use the wrong red. Nope, there it goes. Just keep your eye on it. It's going to get darker and darker and darker. And it just morphs in there. Okay, let's pop a little hole in it. And this is necessary to be able to complete the item. Without this, I would not be able to complete it. It needs a spot for the hot air to exhaust. People always ask about why do you put the hole in there, and it's the same reason that I always explain, because you got to have a spot for it to breathe. And if you ever notice those old traditional ornaments that have the like metal caps around them, they're always cut at the top, right? Exactly, because they need a hole. They can't be fully encapsulated. All right, we're going to take this and we're going to pull it off and spiral it up, and this one will be done. And then we'll bring out the dagger. Bring out the dagger. The dagger is amazing. If you have not seen the dagger, stick around for about another minute and I will bring it out. And you probably will not seen anything like it before. It is a dragon head and a semi-dragon body for the handle. It's got a nice glass blade, and it just looks really good. All right, let's get this thing flattened out, put a hook on it, and we'll grab that. A little bit more. Flatten that out, put a little hook on. Why don't pickles and bread get made in the same factory? I have no idea. I hope that's a dad joke. Welcome in from the Netherlands. What's up? How you doing? I'm so glad. And here we go. Should get all the dildo. That's funny. Okay. I got it. Semi-dad joke, but yeah. All right, got to bring this over and just straighten it out a tiny little bit. Thank you. Yeah, we're just kind of having some fun. This is like a fun job. And there we are with the candy swirl. Looks good. Like that. All right, dagger is right here. So this is one of my favorite items that is in my collection. This is the dragon dagger. Oops, how about I bring it in front of the camera? So the dragon dagger has a shiny side like this, very polished. Then it has a matte side on the other side here. So depending on how you want to hang it on a wall, you can have that not shiny side up, or you can have the shiny side. We'll bring the dragon head right in the center here. You can kind of see it floating around in there. But that is the whole thing. And there. I do love this blade. The blade is almost perfect. It's got the right angle, everything to it. It is semi-sharp. I mean, it's not going to cut a watermelon or anything, but it will definitely cut. How long did it take? 2 days. And it didn't really technically take 2 days. I just made the handle and the blade one day, and then I made sure they lined up properly and that it was going to look good. And then I took that and assembled it the second day, day number 2. So day number 2 was just assembly. And the reason I do it that way is, let's say that I thought the blade was too short or too long. I had an opportunity to fix it before assembling it. So that's primarily what I was looking at and why it took 2 days. But yeah. We're going to bring it out and stretch. Technically, glass work shouldn't take a very long time. I mean, if you ever hear anybody say I was working on a single piece for 3 months, non-stop, they're lying their butt off. They are definitely. Okay, so next step, we're going to put the stripes on here, and then I'm going to change up to one other item after this, probably do a pickle. We'll change things up a little bit. Okay, let's add the white. Taper that down for a second. Oh yeah, I absolutely mess up. 100%. I have a little water bucket right in front of me, and that is the circular water bucket, like the circular paper file. That's the circular water bucket. And stuff makes it in there from time to time. Even after 31 years, I'm not immune to messing things up. All right, so we're just going to keep putting the white down here. And one more. Is that going to work? Yeah. A new anti-sunglass? No. Do I have items for sale? I do. Right now, normally I have stuff up on the Etsy store, but Etsy's being a pain in the butt. They are pulling their shenanigans again. All right, so we're going to add the red. Take you to Glasstown. Yeah, I haven't done a reindeer. It's probably not on my list of things to do. You could definitely find reindeer out there in glass. It's just not my thing. Two more. And one more. We all the way around? Yep, we're all good. The white thing was yeah, it's the ghost dog. Ghosty dog. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. I appreciate every subscriber. I know there are channels out there that don't care. I do. I appreciate all the subscribers. Okay, so we're going to take this and pull it and spin it off. That's my little circular water bucket there. That little sizzle. Yeah, I am not Guy Fieri. I gotta be honest. If our parents were abducted by aliens, I would believe it. We had the same DNA in that respect, because we both got born with this round ass face. Can't help that. But my hair is naturally white, has been that way for a very, very long time. Okay, so we're going to start melting this down. So the purpose of this is to kind of shrink it down. Two things happen from it. A, it gives it kind of a natural spiral, a little spiral, not a lot. But two, it makes it strong as hell. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to flatten that out. And there we go. How late did I go last night? 2 a.m. I think I was on till 2. But anyway, so once you have this, you'll be able to, and not, so it can take a drop and not break. And that's the main thing. It should be able to fall. And survive. Now, if it hits tile, that's the one enemy of glass, because tile is on the same Mohs hardness level. or granite. But everything else, it's pretty stable. Yeah, one of the things I really look at when I build my glass, I think about it ahead of time, is how will this survive? An impact or getting knocked over, those type of things. And that's a lot of work that goes into designing glass. It isn't just a matter of can I make it, it's should I make it, and how do I make it so it doesn't break. Back in the way early days, like the 60s and 70s, they had this glass that was called knitted. You know, it's spun glass, looks like knitting. And they didn't use kilns back then to temper it, but it was very fragile. It would create little micro cracks. And so the way they got around that and stop the glass from falling apart, I'm going to let out a little 60s and 70s secret here. They would dip it in gelatin. You know the gelatin that hardens up like candy? Like a gelatin? They would dip it in the gelatin and let it dry. And then if it cracked, it wouldn't fall apart. The gelatin held it all together. So if you ever see a glass item that's from like the 60s or 70s and it has a yellowish tinge, that's why, because it has gelatin on it. All right, so we're going to flatten this out a little bit. Little sneaky trick, right? But yeah, that was one of the methods for kind of a workaround instead of not having a kiln. What's up? How you doing? Good to see everyone. All right. Next step, we got to put a hook on this. Put a ring on it. And here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Now that right there, that little hook is one of the hardest things to get down. I can't tell you how many people I've had to train on that process right there. They can make everything else but make a nice hook. Drives me batty. Like you can make the most beautiful thing and then you put this funky hook on it. It takes it from nice to jank. And that's dead on right there. Then we're going to grab that, and then you just tap. This is how you remove it. Boop, off. There. Got that going. How many orders do I have left? I think I only have like 18 orders left. So it's not too bad. We're going to make one more peppermint swirl. Then we're going to make a snowman head. Then we're going to make a pickle after that. So we're going to change it up a little. In fact, I got to stop this recording right here. So I'm trying a new horizontal output because I want to do horizontal live streams. And right now I have 3 separate cameras going for it. One is the view that you see currently. That's one of the cameras. And then one of them is from the side. So you can see from the side. The other one I just parked over my head. So it's coming down this way. So you kind of get a first person view of it. I don't know how that one's going to look. Because like this, it looks really good. But when I bring an item over to show it to you, you guys get stuck with my big old head in the way. You've been interested in blowing glass since you went to Venice? Yeah, Venice is amazing. Yeah, the horse is one of the things they primarily show, because those guys can make that horse in like 5 minutes. Super fast. When I went to Venice, they were doing that too. Nope, no bongs, no dongs. I don't have a problem with the industry. It's just not my thing. It's not like you're lacking for choices out there. Have a nice setup. Thank you. Yeah, I take a lot of pride in it. Oh, wait, we're going to go really fast now. We're going to super speed. Y'all ready? Let's kick it up. Let's see how fast we can go and make it look good. Let's kick it up a notch. What do y'all say? So we're going to add the white. We're just going to go super speed. Here we go. Ever burned my face? No, I have not burned my face. However, I have gotten a sunburn from it. This puts off a ton of UV. And you have to wear sunblock. And one day I did not wear my sunblock and I got my face roasted. I was a hybrid between lobster and raccoon with the glasses and everything. So I had lobster face with the raccoon eyes. Oh, that was embarrassing. And then when you have a round face, it makes it even worse. Yeah, if you got one of those like chiseled faces with the perfect jaw and everything, it's not so bad. But when you have a face that looks like a moon with 2 slits, yeah, it definitely affects it. All right, there we go. We got all the white on there. Perfect 10. No, it's not a perfect 10. I was red as hell. Honestly, I was very red. I could have been a meme. I would have been a meme if that had been back then. All right, so we're going to add the red here. We're just hauling butt. We're going speed run. So this is what's called production work right here. No rest for the wicked. Anybody know what song that is? Who that's from? Bonus points if you know who sang the song No Rest for the Wicked. Bonus points. I know someone's Googling it right now. Sublime? No, not Sublime. They might have done a version, but that wasn't who did it. Money don't grow on trees, that's right. Cage the Elephant, then we have a winner. That is correct. I love that song. It's amazing. It's a good song. Yeah, white stripes, and then we got red on here. The red is a weird color. It goes completely transparent and then comes back to red, like very shortly. But while you're working it, it goes invisible. It goes all clear. First time I ever had this color, I thought it was broken. What's up, Melissa? Thank you for the happy poop. What's up? All right, if you guys wouldn't mind doing me a favor, it's a huge favor. Just hit the like button, and I appreciate it. If you think the content's fun, I wouldn't mind a subscription. That's awesome. You don't have to. But I do appreciate it. It just helps the channel out a lot. We're trying to grow. We might be crossing the 15,000 threshold here. In fact, I think we are crossing the 15,000 probably this stream. You might be the 15,000th person, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. All right, so we got to bring this out, shrink it down. I only really started live streaming on YouTube about 2.5 months ago. So we've grown to roughly 15,000 subscribers in that 2.5 months. We are on a rocket ship trajectory. Walter, thank you so much. North Star Ruby? No, this is Red Elvis. I actually have old 20-year-old Ruby. You got the wind and rain? I hope not. Yeah, we hit 15,000 in 2 months. It got monetized in 3 weeks. The channel's just been on a rocket ship. Here we go. But I did have a pretty good TikTok following, which I'm still on TikTok, but I got to be really, really super honest. I like YouTube better. I'm enjoying YouTube a little more. How did I get into this? I got into it because of my mother. She started when I was 2 years old, so I pretty much grew up with it. Walter, thank you so much. All right, here we go. Or Walt. So yeah, I pretty much grew up with it, which has been a great experience. It was kind of fun growing up with it. It hit an hour ago, flooding. I hope you don't get all the stuff we got. I finally found the wind totals we had for Washington. Somewhere it hit 115 miles an hour. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. All right, I'll keep the flame to low for you. We'll save gas. There we go. There's on low. All right, let's pull this down. And bring it out. And then we're going to flatten it out. Heavy rain in northern Ontario. Are you? I hope you don't get all the stuff I had here in Washington. It sucked. It definitely sucked. All right, we got to flatten this out just a little. Give it a little paddle. So I was on TikTok and I said that I'm going to give it a little paddle on the back end. And I got a 24-hour ban for that. Because I said I'm going to give it a little paddle on the back end. And they gave me a 24-hour ban for saying paddle on the back end. That's why I started getting frustrated with TikTok. I was like, okay. All right, we're going to put the hook on here. Okay, here we go. And bring it down. And smushy. Yes, smushy is a term. It's an official glassblowing term. Smushy. Let me just tap. Off it comes. And there we go. Peppermint swirl all ready to go. That was pretty quick. That wasn't too bad. Nope. Flip, flip. There we go. All right, we'll do a quick pickle. We're going to use some uranium glass for the pickle. This is uranium glass. It glows under black light. Like that. You can see that really bright, bright green. That is the uranium glass. And it does have uranium oxide in it. We're going to make a pickle ornament. If you're not familiar with the glass pickle, then look it up. Absolutely right there in the glossary on contemporary lab word. That's right. Smushy. Smushy. All right, here we go. All right, this takes a second. Got to heat it all up. It does stay pretty pliable for a while. And then it gets to a point where it's like, no, I'm not moving anymore. Like right about there, it stops moving. And it firms up really quick. Whereas like the glass in Murano stays hot a lot longer. It definitely stays hot longer. But that's a good thing and a bad thing. The good part is it stays hot longer. The bad thing is it stays hot longer, meaning as you set something up, let's say you make a wing for a bird. When I'm done, the wing is stationary. It's done, completed. Versus the glass out of Murano, that thing moves for a little bit longer, which it can definitely throw your item off. All right, so we're going to put a little punty up here. Like that. We're going to seal this back end up just a little bit, make it a little thicker. So we'll narrow the flame down. And I want it a little thicker right there, just so when I go to complete this pickle, it doesn't fall like off the handle here. The handle itself that I'm tapping is not very thick. So now we just thickened it up right there in that hot spot. We're going to wait for it to cool for a second, heat the whole thing, stretch, pull, give it a little curve. Make it look like a pickle and keep it from looking phallic-y. That's the hardest part. Definitely don't want it looking like something else. So we're going to bring it down just a little bit. Then just kind of let it naturally do its thing. Not too much. There, give it a little puff of air because it does flatten a little. All right, it is done moving. Made it a little bit long there. Got to cut this down a tiny bit. Shrink it down just a tiny bit. There we go. Now the new design I'm doing, I actually put a little hole on each side so the ornament hook can go through it. I used to put hooks on these, and that was a point of failure where the hook would break off if someone dropped it. And I just got the bright idea that you could just put 2 holes in here and put an ornament hook through the pickle itself and it won't break. Okay, put one there. Come to the other side, pop it out. There we go. Make sure they're all even and smooth. Perfect. Now I can have a hook going through it and not worry about it breaking. You want to do this so bad? I highly recommend if you ever get the chance to do it. Jake, thank you for the thumbs up. All right, let's put some uranium glass on here. Yeah, if you ever get the opportunity to try this, do it. I highly recommend it. There are places around the nation that do offer a glass blowing experience. But before you actually take one, you know, I would kind of recommend watching what they do, see how involved they let you get. I've seen some places where they let you do a lot, and then I've seen some places where they're like, okay, we're going to do 90%, you just puff in the air. That's lame. If you're going to do a glass experience, you want to do the whole thing. Not all of it, but 90% of it. And that's the way I used to run my experiences. You would do 90% of it. And it may not be perfect the way it looks, but at least you made it. Almost had an accident right there. All right, so that is basically the pickle. And again, I put the little holes right in between on the top up here so that it can hang like that. See? Now there's no external hook on there. Makes it super convenient and nice. That way with it, you know, I don't want to bang it on that. That mold's super expensive, but, you know, if it falls, it's not going to break. Mostly. Thank you, Jake, for the jewels. All right, let's seal this off and call it done. Name my little salad tongs. So these are little salad tongs. You hurry up. I'm going to take my time. In fact, I'm going to go slower just to annoy you. Okay, so we got that done. We got to do a Santa or a snowman head. Oh, I got to finish this pen too. So this is a pen. We made it for a customer of mine, and we put some wings on the pen. So it'll have a little ballpoint pen that goes into the insert there. I need to finish this up. I had it on my bench for a reason. So let's make it so the big insert fits in there. So it's for a client, a friend. He wrote a book called Hunter of the Damned. And it is about his experiences working for Homeland Security, investigating pedophiles. Like catching pedophiles. Hence the name Hunter of the Damned. So anyway, I made him one pen that has these little like devil horns on it, and then I did him another one with angel wings. So you could have one of both. One of each. One of both. That's not good English. Then this is my high-tech tool that I use to get it perfectly fitting with the big insert. I know that was going to slide right in. It's way too big. There we are. Kind of just have to drill it open. Gonna open it up just a touch. That's too much right there. Really? There we go. Perfect. And so that's the pen. It's a cool writing pen. It's fragile. It's not super stable. I'm going to park it off to the side. There we go. That piece is a little fragile. So what I was referring to, so this is a glow-in-the-dark pen, but the inserts come right out like that. So this is just a regular Bic pen. You can replace the ink super fast, easy, no problem. Okay, Snowman head. We're off to that. What is the name to the store? StarryNightGlass.com. Starry Night Glass. Or you could do Starry Night Glass art. Yeah, that was definitely glass. Do I prefer filming with silver or gold? Doesn't really matter. They're both just the same for me. I like gold, but it's super expensive right now, so I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible. Yeah, until gold comes down, I'm going to be a little sparse on filming with gold. But yeah, it is Starry Night Glass Art or StarryNightGlass.com. There we go. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to burn it off, close it up. Don't need much to make a snowman head. Little sizzle. And then we're going to roll it in this here. This is called frit, F-R-I-T, frit. And it is basically a ground up glass, almost the same as like sea salt for size. What it does is it allows me to color the glass a little bit, but not all the way. It still leaves a lot of transparency and clear in there so you can see it's glass. So we just take that and roll it in. A little bit there, and then we're going to go to the bottom section and do that. Like that. So that creates that little bit of a rock candy look to it. Now we're going to smooth everything in. Gonna smooth it up. Is it possible to put the store URL in the description next time? Yes. So I am definitely moving everything over to my store domain. Number one, Etsy's pissing me off. You know, they're pulling their shenanigans again. And I just don't want to depend on them. I'm really sick and tired of them. So I would love to pull away from it. All right, so we're going to bring this and shrink it down. Let me bring it over here so I can show y'all. See, we just shrunk it all down. Really nice and tight and compact. I haven't done goblets in a long, long, long time. But yes, I've made a few cool goblets. Yeah, that's thank you for the compliment. That's actually very kind of you to say. But yeah, one of the things you want to do with this profession is kind of create a flow. And I kind of got that flow from Bob Ross. You know, watching Bob Ross so much, you just kind of get this vibe of, okay, things could go wrong. Happy little accident. And that kind of gave me the temperament for this in a lot of ways. Because Bob was the GOAT of artists. Do I have any goblets? No, not offhand. No. There should be some on my, I should have I think there is one goblet on my videos somewhere. It's not a very long video. But it should be a goblet with dolphins in the middle. Like dolphins for the stem. I need some black glass. There we go. We got to put a snowman hat on it. I know, Bob is the GOAT. Is. Bob and you have the same birthday? Well, that's pretty cool. All right, so we're going to put the little hat on here. Sorry, this takes a lot of glass just to make the little hat. There we are. So we're going to take this and we're going to flatten it. We're going to smushy. You did your first Bob Ross painting in 1988? Wow. All right, here we go. Smushy. There. Now we got the rim of the hat. That's what I did. I watched Bob Ross as a kid. Have I ever done... No, I've never done that. Don't need to. Okay, let's add a little hat top portion to the hat here. Okay, we got the top part done. We just have to get it heated and then flatten it a little bit, create that derby hat look. Oop. Went a little bit crooked on me there. So now we got the little derby hat going. A wine glass with a dolphin? I've done those. Yeah. We are making the snowman head ornament. I'll show you. I do have a dolphin set ready for a wine glass. I haven't put it together yet, but I'll show you the stem portion of it. I've been having it sitting next to me for like 6 months now, and I just haven't got around to putting it together. All right, so we got to put the little orange carrot nose on here. There's that. And then I got to grab some black for the eyeballs. I used to have a whole bunch up here, and I think I had tossed it off to the side. I did. Luckily, I have backup. Put the eyeballs. Maybe next year I'll make a pirate version of this. Pirate version would be cool, right? Put a little pirate hat on it, an eye patch for a snowman head. Okay, we got that done. Let's put a little hook on it and call it done. I hate this part right here, lining it up. All right, that's good. Let's put a little bit of roundness to it, make it look good. So it'll hang appropriately. Make sure it's straight. And there we go. Then it just tosses right off. Smooth out that spot it was attached to. And we got the snowman head all done. So this is what's going to go in the middle of the wine glass. I know it's gigantic, but we're going to take that. I'm going to put a wine glass bottom on there and then put the top of the wine glass to the top of this dolphin. So it's going to be a gigantic goblet. But I haven't got there yet. I haven't figured it out yet. But yeah, that'll be the wine goblet like that. It'll look cool when it's all done. Okay, back to Peppermint Swirl. Yeah, that'll be a fun goblet. But the wine cup on it is ginormous. It'll take almost like a bottle of wine by itself. Doesn't the intense heat and the heavy air make you feel? No, I've got completely, my studio's completely ventilated and the torch isn't hot. See that? It just doesn't get hot. Now, if you know anything about torches or equipment like this, you know you can't do that with just anything. So yeah, you can sit here. It's not hot. The torch is actually cold. Okay, we got that pulled down. Toss that to the side. And we're going to start making this into the peppermint swirl. There we go. What gas do I use? Oxygen and propane are the two gases. Very easy to get and not super expensive. All right, we're going to preheat this all the way. So just a little preheat. All right, next step, we're going to stripe it with white, then red, and twist it. Twist and turn. Pull some clean points. That's like one of the things I always say you got to do. Learn to pull points. All right, here we go. We're going to stripe all the white. All right, got the white on there. Let's grab some red. Nope, I almost made that mistake the other day. Nope, too thin. I don't want that one. This is a good one. Oh, with all those N32 masks work instead of the... No, N32 masks would not work. Two reasons. One, it would not... You're dealing mostly with carbon monoxide, not particles. And number two, wearing a mask would make it very difficult to blow the glass. Like, that would be very, very awkward. And the worst part is the masks are either paper or some type of material like that. You're talking about a potential ignition right on your face. So I would not do that. One more. Now we got all the red around there. Next step, we're going to take it, pull it, twist it, stick and rip. And we're going to grip it and rip it. We're going to rip that little portion right on the front off and create a nice little spiral. Okay, so we got it going. We're just going to melt it all down, shrink it. Oh, that did not center up. Gonna have to refix this. I hate this part. Definitely gonna have to fix that. Yeah, that didn't spiral up dead center. It was like way off. It was giving me the side eye. There we go. That looks much better. All right, so next step, we're going to take it and we're just going to pop it in. Got to have that little hole in there or it won't work. It will definitely fail without that. Ah. All right, so we're going to grip it here and rip it. Yeah, we'll get there. I'll get to it in a minute. All right, so we're going to take it and heat it up and twist it. Gonna have to add that one into Nightbot now. And no. Bye-bye. And see ya. Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't have any tolerance for that. Not okay. But what a pathetic life to have that, to do that. I would hate to be that pathetic. to go around doing that. All right, so we're going to flatten this out. Yeah, I don't understand it either. Yeah, back to business. Like I said, I couldn't imagine being so miserable that you have to do that. But I have zero tolerance for that. I know, they're already in the next one. Exactly. Not a big deal. And here we go. Get over it? You get over it. I'll ban you too. I don't have any tolerance for it. All right, here we go. I don't mind trolls. You can troll me all you want. I don't care. But that's not a troll. There's a big difference. Fact. Bye-bye. You're out of here too. See ya. Problem solved. And there we go. And we're going to smooth this out. And now we got the peppermint swirl number. I think this is number 8. Yeah, we're rocking on these. They're going fast. Yeah, trolling I don't mind. I don't mind trolls. They don't bother me. In fact, sometimes I just go on and I rate the trolls. So like if you have a bad troll, I'm going to rate it like 1 or 2 out of 10. If it's a good troll, I'll acknowledge it. Thank you, Ashley. All right, so we're going to do one more of those peppermints, and then we're going to change it up a little. And here we go. Just have to pull it down. Is there anything you do for ventilation? Yeah, there's a couple different methods of ventilation. Oh, thank you for the subscription. Ventilation can be a couple different ways. I think some people, they put the fear in you about ventilation, like overkill with it. But you should have open air. You should have a nice fresh air source. And I do. I have a very open studio with lots of air flowing through it. If you're in a basement or a sealed room, you should have a ventilation hood above you that pulls air out and one that recirculates air in. That you should have. But I literally got into an argument with someone who said you needed to have a ventilation hood above your bench if you were in an open air environment under a tent. So you could be out all the way in the open environment, and you had to have a ventilation hood or you were going to die. I was like, wow. So all the surrounding air around you does nothing. You got to have the ventilation hood. It didn't make any sense to me why someone would think that, but okay. All right, here we go. I mean, nothing we do is that toxic. like I said, the worst thing is you could, if you're in an open environment, you could get carbon monoxide. Anthony, thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate that. Have these glasses the same filter? Yeah. Yeah, these are my old didymiums. I'm charging up my Meta Ray-Bans right now. They're charging. So I just use my older glasses. Same exact lens. No different. And there we go. Now we got to add the red. Magnus, thank you so much for the jewels. I just think that's a cool name too, Magnus. I'm not kidding. I think that's a cool name. My ex-wife got really mad at me because I said if we ever have a kid, I want to name, if it's a boy, I want to name it Raider. She's like, what? I want to name it Raider. She thought the football team. I'm like, no, Vikings. Raider. All right, here we go. Looks like you've done this. Yeah, I've got a few hours under my belt. I've done it once or twice. Yeah, like a tiny house, you do have to have air circulating through. Am I crazy? You're going to burn your house? I'm not in my house. I'm not in my house. And maybe it's AI. Have you thought about that? How many hours had you streamed before 12 hours ago? Oh, I don't know. I didn't keep track. Maybe I got the Guy Fieri filter on. Did you know that exists? I'm just kind of cracking up. All right, we got to turn this into a peppermint swirl. Let's get serious here. All right, let's go. Kick on a little fire. Let's use the big flame. It's a little cold out right now. Yeah, I wish this was in my house, but no, I have an entirely separate studio for it. It's on property, but it's separate. All right, so here we go. We're going to kind of blow it open a little bit, not out, open. So this is supposed to resemble kind of like the peppermint candies. How many years did it take to learn? So I'm a little different. I grew up with this, so for me to say how many years, it's not accurate because basically I grew up with it. Both parents, glass blowers. My mom was the first. But I can tell you from experience, I've seen people get really, really, really good in 6 months. And I've seen people that have been doing it for 20 years that just suck. Just terrible. So it really depends on how much you practice, honestly. You just got to practice. No, I don't make any of those. There are plenty of people out there that do that. You're not lacking for choices. I'm just not one of them. You could go to your local gas station. You'll find everything you need. Get yourself a Twinkie and whatever else you need. Get a Twinkie, some Yoo-Hoo. Go up to the front counter and get what you need. I know, that's closer to the trolls. That's what I said. I don't care about trolls. They don't bother me. All right, so we're going to kind of start melding this down, giving it a swirl. Snap, crackle, pop. A Twinkie, yeah, a Twinkie, there you go. I can't say that, but yes. Oh, thank you. Well, that's good. I do know how to make them, I just don't. I don't have a problem with the industry at all, but you're not lacking in choices out there for purchasing one. So I don't need to make it. You have a lot of choices out there. I am still streaming. Look, for me, it's really simple. I have to work whether I'm streaming or not streaming. So I might as well turn the camera on. Right? I'm working either way. I'm not streaming to work. I'm working anyway, so just turn the damn camera on and have some fun. Except for when that happens. Yeah, I would say there's no lack of that stuff in the industry. No lack of choices. All right, here we go. Got to put a hook on. Make sure it's straight. All good. Yeah, it's just back to the grind. Always. Do you need an oven to cool your glass? Yes. So you should have a kiln to definitely temper it off. Cool it down slow. Absolutely. And there we go. Another peppermint swirl down. How many did I need there? Sorry, I'm just looking at my list real quick. All right, I got to make one more pickle. One. And then we'll move on to some other stuff. Maybe I'm just filling orders. This is my daily grind. Yeah, we put them in the kiln afterwards. So what the kiln does is it lets everything soak at 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. And then when it cools off, it cools at the same pace. If you take a piece of glass and you heat one end hot, one end not so hot, when it cools down, this end is going to cool slower than the other end. And it'll create a stress crack in there. And that stress crack will happen for sure. And it'll eventually break, and you'll be very upset that your piece broke. Because someone didn't put it in the kiln, tempering it in time. I do have a site. Yeah. It is starrynightglass.com or starrynightglassart.com. Both go to the same place. I had my Etsy store up, but they're pulling shenanigans again, so I'm on vacation mode. I've been selling on Etsy for 9 years. I've been on Etsy, and suddenly they sent a notice saying, you need to send in your photo ID so we can verify you're real, even though I've been on there 9 years. And after you send your photo in, we have up to 5 days to make sure it's legitimate. All while all the money I've made during Christmas is sitting in Etsy's account right now. They're not releasing it until they verify your identity. And that's a shenanigan move. Now, if you take all that money from me and all the millions of people that are on Etsy that they're doing it to, and you think about the amount of interest they earn per day on $100 million, now you know why they're doing it. They're taking everybody's Christmas money, leaving it sit in the bank, earning interest while they verify your identity. And that's why I'm tired of it. They keep pulling this stuff, not just on me, but hundreds of millions of people. I've never tried the microwave kiln. I wouldn't recommend it. Honestly, I really wouldn't recommend it. You'd be better off getting a little pottery kiln, a small one. You could find them super cheap. They're not expensive. A little plate of ceramic plate with some, I think they call it graphite paper, but I don't remember, for fusing. But anyway, take that and get a little kiln. Don't use a microwave. You could probably go on Facebook Marketplace and find a cheap little kiln for under $100. It'd be a lot safer. Can I post the site? Yes. Just go to starrynightglass.com, just like the Van Gogh painting. But I can post it here in just a few minutes. But right now, mostly what I have on there is all the memorial glass. So that's my other specialty, is we do memorial glass, where we take ash from people or pets and infuse it into the glass as a memorial. All right, so we're going to give a slight bend. This is the Christmas pickle. Yeah, the memorial pieces are one of my specialties. So right now, that's what's on Starry Night Glass. But anything that you see as a memorial, you can get without memorial. Not adding the ash in there definitely reduces the cost. And I'm converting everything over to Starry Night Glass. I'm also created a website called The Fiery Guy, and that one is getting built right now. So everything that'll be on YouTube here that I'm making will have a link to it. I'm able to post it while I'm making them. I can kind of let you all in a little secret that I have coming up. We have a hummingbird mystery box, if you will. So every one of the boxes will have one of my hummingbirds in it that I'm known for. You just don't know what color you're going to get. So it'll be like a little mystery box. You don't know what color you'll get. They're all awesome. You might get a uranium one. You might get a blue one. Who knows? And there definitely will be some uranium ones in there. So I don't put hooks on these anymore. kind of open a hole through these on both ends, and then the hook goes through the pickle itself. Makes it much cleaner, nothing to break. All right, let's add this in. So I use uranium glass for the little pickle dots. Let's go. Pickle warts, whatever you want to call them. Pickle warts. And the pickle is done. Have you ever buried a glass piece for a scientist find? No, I haven't done that. Not doing a scavenger piece. And there we go. Pull that off. No. I got this phone number that keeps scamming me. Hold on. We're going to do this live. Hello? 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 They keep calling me. And then they just sit there. And then they start speaking, asking me if I want an extended car warranty or a loan. There we go. All right. Yeah, the memorials are definitely cool. All right, next step. What else do I have on the list? That one's done. I think we have one more peppermint swirl, and we're done with that stuff too. Then we might be making ghost dogs. Make some ghost dogs. The ladies keep going, no, that's definitely not it. Definitely not it. They keep telling me, we have business funding for you. You are entitled to $500,000. Tell you what, send me the check. But it's the same number, it keeps calling. I blocked it, and then it comes back with one more digit off. All right, so we're going to pull this down and add the white and red, peppermint swirl it up, and it'll be ready to go. And this stuff, like I said, is super bendable for a while. And then you can just pull it right back into its shape. Like so. Yep, no heat transfer in glass, 0. Even the torch isn't hot, see? Now this is a specific brand. If you have another brand torch, don't do this. Bad. It'd be very bad. It would end poorly. But yeah, this torch actually feels kind of good right now. Yeah, you can have your hand that close to like that much heat. This is a ghost dog, like that. Little ghosty dog, like a sheep. Ghost dog. All right, let's add the white on here. Just trying to keep my balance here with it. Making the lines all even as possible between the spacing. It's the only thing that can throw you off is the spacing. Yeah, that's why ghost dog. That's what I have to call it. And here we go. Now the red is a total trip. So the red loves to go transparent. And watch. Keep your eye on that little section right there. And you're going to suddenly start to see it go back to red in 3, 2, 1, and it's going to start coming back in like that. Yep, parents of glassblowers. And here we go. Going to add the red all the way around. All the way. All good. Oh. And there we go. Doesn't even feel like I've been streaming for 2 hours. Feels like 30 minutes. All right, we got all the spiral going on. Looks all nice and happy right there. All the colors pulled to the center. Next step, we're going to compress it all down. Kick it up a notch. And that doesn't really get the flame any hotter. It just gets it whiter. Just allows me to heat more of a swath of it. It's not any hotter. Okay, we're going to take it, heat it, blow it open. like that. And I swear, so I've been in a debate with people on this. That looks like, to me, it looks like Strawberry Shortcake's hat. Now, other people say it looks like Toad from Nintendo a little bit. I think it looks like Strawberry Shortcake's hat, but I'll let you all decide. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate it. That's awesome. I think it looks like Strawberry Shortcake's hat, but a lot of people swear it looks like Toad from Nintendo a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna punchy it up and pull this apart. You see them both? That's what I'm saying. I see them both, but I think it more looks like the hat, but that's just me. But I can definitely see both. I also see a hot air balloon. People always sleep on Strawberry Shortcake. She's forgot. I know, right? I'll tell you what's not forgotten is Hello Kitty. My God. I made a cat one time, and I did not make Hello Kitty. I'm going to make it very clear. I did not make Hello Kitty. But it looked pretty close to Hello Kitty, and I wasn't trying. I mean, a cat is a cat is a cat. And I got a cease and desist letter from Sanrio that was like 4 inches thick. It was massive. I still have it too, somewhere. It was the biggest cease and desist. It wasn't a letter, it was a cease and desist book. So Sanrio is real particular about Hello Kitty. So be careful if you're ever doing anything. Don't mess with the kitty. That sounded bad. Don't mess with Hello Kitty. I mean, they were like, wow. Now, luckily for me, I was very blessed that my attorney went to law school with their attorney. And he called her up and said, I can promise you he wasn't trying to make this. And they dropped the whole thing, but I had to send him the cat. I actually had to pack up the glass kitty and send it to him. I was like, really? All right, here we go. That was like the little insult. Fine, we'll drop the lawsuit. You have to send us the cat. There we go. And then we're going to smooth that out. Okay. Now we got the peppermint swirl done. Yeah, Hello Kitty is huge in Japan. They're monstrously big there. All right, get in the back. Oh my gosh. This piece does not want to move. All right. All right, it has been 2 hours for me streaming. Every 2 hours, I do try to get up and stretch for a little bit. I'll be back in like a half hour. So it's 2:20 my time, probably by 3 o'clock, 40 minutes. And we're going to be streaming some more. So we're going to be all good. And I'll see you all in a little bit. Thanks for making my day so far pretty cool. I appreciate all of you. Oh, we could definitely do turtle. Do you see that? That piece flew up. Yeah, we could definitely do turtles. And I will see you all in a little bit.